Okay, 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 okay. Here I come, here I come. Here we go again. I guess it's another day with EJ, right? Know y'all looking for EJ. Let me bring her on in. EJ is sleep while I'm working, if you know what I'm talking about. Now, let's get to the thing, man. People always want to know a whole lot about me. My whole life is a whole bunch of interesting stories about things that I've been through, people I've dealt with, and all type of nonsense and negativity and shenanigans and whatever other words you want to put on it to make you feel good about it. But I got a whole lot of good stories too, just positive, motivational stories. And I'm gonna tell y'all one of them. This one about baby girl. I know you wondering who baby girl is, so let me break it down for you. My mama had a miniature Doberman pigeon while I was in prison, and her mini pincher was her go-to, and she spoiled baby girl in a way I could never spoil EJ, cause my mama know how to cook. I don't know how to cook. That's how she took all the dogs that I had when I was growing up. Every fur baby that I ran across, my mother eventually ended up taking it from me and it being her fur baby because she could cook. I don't know how. Don't get mad at me, don't judge me or none of that. And I don't really care how you feel. I swear for Lord I don't. Look at EJ. If somebody could cook for EJ, I'm talking about it is gonna be amazing. But let me get back to telling you about baby girl. So baby girl was that animal in my mama house. So much so that I don't even know how to say this. Where do I begin? Okay, I came home from prison in 2010. I got locked up in 96. But I came home from prison in 2010 to my mother, who had multiple sclerosis in her final hours. So, and the gene was bedridden, paralyzed from her chest down. And me and her went back and forth on her care and all of that. So we eventually ended up, let me start doing some work while I'm doing this. We eventually ended up, let me move me, right? I'm gonna come on over here one time for the one time. Let me come on over here. Start doing some work, right? So, mind the beat. So, me and my mother eventually came to an understanding that she needed to be put in a nursing home so she could get around the clock care. My mother agreed to this under the terms and conditions that baby girl take the house. I know that sounds silly and all of that, I do, but when I put my mother into a nursing home for 24-hour care, she gave the house to the dog. And me and my ex-wife and my ex-wife's son stayed in the house with the dog. It was the dog house, that was that, and it was gonna be what it was gonna be. You couldn't change it. My mama was silly like that though, so that's kind of why I loved her. And it'll kind of show you why I treat EJ the way that I treat her, because I grew up treating my fur baby with that type of love. All of them. Every type. I done had all kind of animals. Hamsters, gerbils, birds, everything. I'm going to tell y'all a story about Charlie. Right? My mother, I love my mama for that. Her best friend, Stephanie, had a squirrel macaw named Charlie. Charlie was the craziest bird I ever ran into. And it talked, it comprehended, it understood, and it would cuss you out at the drop of a hat. So, going through that, after I got my mama situated, she gave the house to the dog. And it was the dog house. And baby girl knew it was her house too. It wasn't like the dog didn't know whose house it was. She knew. And while she knew, everything else just kind of took care of itself. I did what I was supposed to do. I was fresh out of prison on parole, doing everything that I was supposed to do to try to stay out of trouble and take care of baby girl for my mama. Take baby girl to see my mama every time she wanted to go. Every time my mama wanted to see her. The dog got ice cream every Thursday from Dairy Queen, I'm talking about, and she loved it. It was a wonderful thing. Like, baby girl became a part of my life. So fast forward through my marriage. I don't really want to talk about that, but I can if y'all want to know about it. It just kind of is what it is. I got married, I got divorced, I got right back into the streets, and that is where I'm gonna tell y'all about this. So when I got back in, so when my wife divorced me for doing something I ain't had no business doing, but I did have some business doing, I got right back to the street life. And imagine I'm in the street life doing what I am doing, and everywhere that I go, I have a mini pincher tagging along. It used to be the craziest thing ever. Like, people used to see me all the time and be like, man, what is up with you and that dog? And my mama dog, it is officially my sister, and I have to take care of her in such. Baby girl had a name. Her name was Precious, right? So Precious ran the house. She went outside the potty, and you had to watch her because she almost got snatched up by a hawk. Shout out to Predator Beware for making sure that it never happened to EJ. But she almost got snatched up by a hawk, and she wouldn't go potty without nobody standing at the door to watch her. It was the craziest thing ever, and I actually seen it. Like, I actually seen the hawk try to take her. Boy, she fought for her little life, ran back in the house, and she stayed in the house for a couple days. It was the craziest thing ever. So I'm hustling and doing a whole bunch of stuff that I don't have no business doing, dealing with the ladies, being single, all of the nonsense and the shenanigans that come with living the street life. But I got a mini pincher with me, right? Vet visits, ice cream, she eats special treats, she eat whatever it is that I'm eating, and she jail me. And then the feds came. So the feds kicked my house in. If you ain't read my book, Loud, A Strong Story 0.5, please pick it up and read it, because I had baby girl at the same time that all of this was going on. I didn't mention her in the story, but I had her. So the feds kicked the house in. And after the feds kicked the house in, flashbangs and all, I'm talking about, it was the craziest thing ever. You had to be there to see it, and I wasn't there, so I can't tell you how that played itself out, nor do I want to tell you, because I wasn't there. I can't tell you the story. I had a couple friends that was there. I'm talking about, they lived through it, experienced it, and to be completely honest, we all ended up going back to jail for it. So while after the feds kicked my house in, I just happened to not be there at the time, read the book, and tell you what happened and all of that. So I went on a run. And while I was on the run, nobody really stayed at the house because the feds kicked it in. They was looking for me. I was not turning myself in under no circumstances, because that is the lifestyle that I lived, and I understood the consequences of my actions. I'm not turning myself in, so somebody got to watch baby girl. I eventually end up letting a friend of mine stay in the residence under the condition that he has to watch baby girl. It's her house, it's not his house. He say, okay, everything going the way that it's supposed to go. I'm on the run doing whatever it is that I'm doing. I ain't gonna tell you what I was doing, because I was breaking every law known to man and trying to get some money at the same time. It is an extremely wild lifestyle that I used to live. I'll tell y'all more about it as the time goes along. I'm just telling y'all about it. So he's staying in the house with baby girl, and I'm on the run. I'm doing everything that I'm doing, and he watching over my mama dog for months and months and months and months and months. And then he called me one day. This when the story get hairy. He called me one day, like, what you got going on, bro? I'm like, man, I ain't got too much of nothing going on. What's the business? He like, man, I got some bad news. I'm like, what's the bad news? He like, man, baby girl ran away. I can't find her. I'm like, man, I gotta tell my mama that? I'm like, you go tell her. He like, nah. I had to tell her. So, me being me, I did what I was supposed to do. I snuck and seen my mama. Keep in mind, I was on the run. All right, always keep in mind while this is going on, I am a fugitive from the state and the feds. While this going on, I'm on the run. I gotta go sneak and see my mother to tell her that baby girl ran away. I got a whole lot of fond memories of my mama. But the day I told her the baby girl ran away, it broke her heart. I'm talking about in a way that you just would not understand. My mama was crushed. It wasn't nothing I could even say or do to make her feel better about it. She cried and everything. I'm talking about, it was one of them things where it's like somebody close in the family died, because in all actuality, baby girl was my sister. She literally was my sister, and I literally treated her as such. My mama boo-hooed and boo-hooed and boo-hooed and boo-hooed for hours, and I was just there to listen to her, feel how she was feeling about it. So, fast forward a couple more months, I'm still out on the streets doing whatever it is that I'm doing. So my friend who stayed in the house and was to look after baby girl, he moved out. I gotta start adding two at a time. He moved out, and he no longer stays in the residence. And I done already told my mother that baby girl ran away, and she was just gonna have to swallow that little pill because I was on the run, and there wasn't nothing that could be done about it. She said she mad, she upset, and all of that, but she cool with it. So a few more months go past. I sneak and see my mama all the time. We be jamming like that. Once you get to know me, you will understand why me and my mama are so cool and why I feel like I feel about her. So I end up going to prison. I end up getting called. Read the book. I ain't even gonna tell you. I went to jail. So I am in jail for almost 3 years. I did almost 3 more years on a new case and a parole violation. What was the new case? Read the book. It'll tell you what I went to jail for. So I'm in prison doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and me and my mama talk all the time. We jam out like we always do, and that just kind of is what it is. I end up making parole, right? I was supposed to get out sooner, but I didn't. I ended up getting into some nonsense with some negative people because I was negative too, and it ended up pushing my day back. So when I do come home, I go right back to the house because for the first time since the feds kicked it in, I'm not wanted anymore. So I could go back to the house. So when I get out, I go back to the house and I do a couple things. I look through some stuff. The house is still in my name, but it's actually baby girl house. And that just kind of is what it is because that just is what it is. That's what my mother said, and I always listen to my mama. Just have to understand, like, our relationship is amazing. I wish I had her back right now, I swear for the Lord. So me and my mama, we get back on doing what we normally be doing. So I'm at the house looking for some pictures because I have no pictures of me when I'm a child. I have none of my childhood pictures or none of that. No high school pictures, no prison pictures, no none of that. They was all in the house when the feds came, and I don't know what happened to them. I think they took them for evidence or whatever, whatnot. But I'm back in the house looking for some stuff. And I go downstairs in the basement, still on my look to go find some stuff that I'm looking for. And what you think I found when I went in the basement? You ain't got to say it. You ain't got to say it out loud. What do you think I found when I went in the basement? I found baby girl, mummified in a chair. When I say that put me in a different place in life, I literally wanted to go right back to jail. Yep. I wanted to go back to jail because I wanted to do something to that man for lying to me about my mama dog. But I didn't. I talked to my mother about it. Never told her that I found baby girl mummified in the basement because I had already told her that she ran away, and I already dealt with that little range of emotions that she had behind it, and it put me in a very bad place. Wasn't gonna do it this time, but I called the friend, like, hey, bro, come pull up on me at the old spot. He come pull up. Not only did he pull up, the police pulled up with him. And they let me know that under no circumstance did they want me or anybody that was close to me to be in this part of St. Louis County. Like, they just basically banned me from, they just basically banned me from the county, told me that they didn't want me there. But I got my partner, come on over here with me. So me and my friend, right, I called my friend to let him know come pull up on me. But he pulled up, the police pulled up. Me and the officers ended up having a conversation, woo woo. I was shooting a video at the time. I think the song called I Promise or something. I don't really know. I'll post a video clip or something. I'll go back and find out the name of the song. But I was shooting a video for one of my songs when I found out the truth. Called him, police came. Police ended up leaving because the house was still registered to me, so it wasn't really too much of nothing they could do. They gave me that little bug piece of information. We don't want you out here. You sell drugs. You a menace to society. Woo woo. This, that, and the third. And we appreciate you checking in, because when I got out of prison, I had to check in as a violent offender with the police departments in my surrounding areas. It was something my PO had me do. Don't ask me why. I don't know, but it was what it was. When the police leave, though, me and him ended up having a conversation, and I told him that he had to go relay the truthful message to my mother. I didn't want to tell her. And he didn't want to tell her neither. The strangest part about that was the whole time I was locked up, my mother was like his mother. She loved him like he was one of her kids. He didn't visit her that much or nothing. She used to do everything for him. It just kind of broke my heart and gave me a sour taste in my mouth wherever he was concerned. Now, if you want to know a little bit more about me, if you ain't read my book, December, or listen to it, the audio on YouTube is somewhere on my page. You can check it out. I speak on the situation of me and my partner falling out about my mother's dog. That is the dog. That is the falling out. He would not tell my mother while she was still alive the truth behind what happened to her favorite animal in the world. And I couldn't bring myself to do it. The secret died with her, and he never cleaned it up. So as far as I was concerned, he died with her too, because you lied to our mother. And I don't really be on that. But that should give you a little bit more. Me and him still don't talk. I'm just kind of like that. When we fall out, and it's just going to be what it's going to be. Don't ask me why. Check out EJ. This is why I act the way that I do, and I do the things that I do. I'm sorry. I'm not perfect. I ain't nowhere close to perfect. I ain't even trying to be perfect if you let me tell it. I just want to tell you a little bit more about me. I've been around animals my whole life. That's why they kind of respond to me the way that they do, because I understand them. I'm not a dog trainer, I'm not a cat trainer, I'm not none of that. But if you leave an animal around me, we're going to get a clear sense of understanding about each other, because that's just how I am. I pull right up. If we're going to fight, we're going to fight. If we're going to bite, we're going to bite. If we're going to scratch, we're going to scratch, because that's how you get a clear understanding in the animal world. Words sometimes do not work. But I get on the floor with EJ and bite her up so she understands that I don't like what she did. And with that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. I ain't really going to hold y'all too much longer. I could keep giving y'all the spiel while I'm completing this order, but y'all already seen me make some shirts for Buster's Barista. Shout out to that lady and every child, adult, or anybody that may in the future have autism and be dealing with that. special needs and be dealing with that. I appreciate the business, buy some socks, buy a mask, buy some puzzles, buy something to support the cause so I can show my baby the world. And I can do everything in my power to never let her end up like baby girl, if you get what I'm saying. But that's between me and y'all. I ain't gonna tell nobody. Have I ever had a small dog? Yes, I have. It was a very small dog, and she was a very cute dog too. I wish I could find some pictures. If I ever get back in contact with my side of the family, my mother's side, I might possibly come up with some pictures. And if I possibly come up with them pictures, I will possibly post them. But my mother's side of the family kind of died with her, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all have a good day and be safe. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time this reach you. I greet you. This is a day with EJ. She still sleep, right? She is still, let me show you around, right? EJ is still sleeping, doing what she doing, and I'm doing everything in my little power to make sure she right. Like everything in my power. I spent my last dime on this little lady to make sure she all right, because not only is she named after my mother, but my mother raised me to take care of the precious things that be around me. Like, they precious. People never really understand how much something means to you until you don't have it no more. Well, as an adult, I've learned to understand how much it means to me while I have it. Now come on back over here. And I just want y'all to do the same thing. I ain't gonna hold y'all up too much longer. I got an order to finish. I got a studio session planned for the night. This been a day with EJ. Look at my little baby still sleeping. She's so pretty. I love you, mama. I love you. And I love y'all for taking time out y'all day to watch this video. Please leave a comment, question, or concern. Have I ever had a dog before? Yes, several. I had a Rottweiler named Panda Bear. She buried in the backyard of my mother's house. I done had a couple other animals. I don't know what my mama did with them when they passed. And I had baby girl. That about sum it up. That's why I love EJ the way that I do. Not only is she a little person, she named after my mama. Now let me get out of here. Y'all know how these videos end. I'ma fade the block.